Good morning. The program is Stolen Property. I am Brother Donald, the Spirit Man, and I'll be with you until the top of the noon hour on this Saturday morning, March the 26th, 2011. As I said, once again, the program is Stolen Property here on WFBR 1590 on your AM dial. We're going to put power into 1 hour as we move to rock your raggedy radio and to rock your mind as we move down to your roots to shake you and awake you that maybe that you can be among the living, among those who are raising the deaf, dumb, and blind, black man and black woman here in the hells of North America. I'll say good morning to you, one and all, hoping that you have had a decent week, one that did not have as much drama as you may have had the previous week. So we bring it in smooth, we bring it in on a little low note this morning that maybe we can say something that you can take into your considerations this morning. So we are always happy to be here. And we appreciate that you are listening to this program this morning. For it is a cold day, but it is a beautiful day. It's a day that we have the opportunity to improve upon that which we did yesterday. With all the problems that we may have, with all the situations that we have to deal with, we have to stay the course, we have to persevere. There's no stopping, there's no turning back. No turning back the time. No turning back the clock. It's not going back, but it's forward. Not going back, but moving forward. So this is what we're going to do this morning. And I'm going to drop back for a moment, and we'll be back with you in a minute. Peace. Good morning. We are back once again. The program is Stolen Property. I am Brother Donald, better known as the Spirit Man. I was waiting for my brother to get here. He have made it in this morning, going to check to see if this microphone that is working. Could you say something, brother?
How you doing?
I can hear you real well. Could you introduce yourself to those that are listening to the radio this morning?
Yes, my name is Adrian Fair.
Yes, sir. Brother A, pleasure you being here with us this morning. And we're going to drop a little something back up under this that we can get something moving again in this conversation that we're going to have this morning. So, I thank you once again for listening to this program. You could be doing so many other things. I'm hoping that this program is a very penetrating program. I believe it is. Not that I believe, I know it is to be a fact, because I don't sell my CDs. I give my CDs to this program away to folks, and I ask them to give me their critique and to make suggestions as far as how this program could be improved. And just ask them to take the CD and burn it one for themselves and burn one for someone else and pass it on. That way you can build up a listener base for this program and also for this radio station. I'm going to just go into something real quickly that took place the other day down at the Emerson High School. It was the mayor's, what was that thing that they had?
The town hall meeting.
The town hall meeting. It was something. Since I have been back up on the surface, primarily on the radio and trying to make some of the meetings that take place throughout this city. The town hall meetings was very interesting in the sense that it wasn't like the town hall meetings of the previous administrations. Certain things that you do when you have those type of town hall meetings, you usually have a controlled environment where that person that's sitting in the seat or the position as mayor controls those environments. And usually I watched under the Smoot administration, under the Dixon administration, and now under the Rawlins Blake administration that 95% of the seats were empty. Is that right, brother?
Yeah.
95%.
I was shocked.
I wasn't shocked because this mayor is suffering from the same thing Patricia Jasmine May suffered from. That is being isolated and being detached from the community in which they come from or the communities in which they supposed to represent. And the mayor in that position represents the whole entire city. But it was 95% of the seats were empty. That's great for us because it gives us the opportunity to do some things that if it was truly controlled, some things would not have happened. But tactic and strategy, we're not going to get too deep into that. Brother, could you give me your observations of what took place?
Well, what I wanted to go just to see her base, her operation, her organization. And when she was introduced, her crowd, the people that were there for her, you could see who they were.
Yes, sir.
It was 6 to 10 white people.
Yes, sir.
None of the black people clapped. And I was shocked. I figured she had all her girlfriends, her, the womanhood. They would all be out there. But,
yes.
And that place was pretty empty. And I'm trying to figure out, well, what were they trying to accomplish? And I believe that maybe they were just trying to run a test run. They were trying to see how it was going to take, and maybe on the next one, they'll do some different things.
For sure.
But that didn't go well at all. Everybody, one person who stood up and spoke had something positive to say to her or about her, and everybody else, was pretty much hostile to her. To her credit, she remained cool, but I think the whole thing was an attempt to try to prop her up and make her look like she was in charge. And as they say, like in the presidential, they try to make her look presidential or mayoral, like she can handle the job because she wasn't actually elected. She was basically pushed up into the position.
Correct.
So, that's what I saw.
There was some interesting things at operations. It's interesting things that I observed and was able to exploit. And those are the things that we must look at. Now, under the Smoot administration, it was real tight when you have those type of town hall meetings. It is very controlled. And usually you just don't have your department heads up there, but you also have their assistants. You have city workers. You have the whole crew that I remember years ago, back in the early 90s at a town hall meeting that Kurt Smoot had. I said some powerful, some real strong stuff. And they booed me out the joint, because the forces was just so strong that any opposition that came up, if anyone challenged or anything that was said, they were basically booed up out of the joint. But what we saw yesterday was the other evening, what we observed was just something totally different, that this mayor doesn't have a base. She doesn't have a connection with those within the community, because a lot of folks that was expressing their disapproval was everyday, ordinary people that you would not generally assume that would say some of the things that these individuals were saying, and you would assume that the only ones that was coming out was the activists or folks was just plain disgruntled. But these were everyday, ordinary citizens who just weren't happy with what was going on and what was taking place with this administration. Anything you wish to add to that, my brother?
Yeah, I mean, where was her crowd? Kurt Schmoke had a strong organization. Now I'm hearing about this mayor. She's got money. That's every time you open the paper up, she's got big money, big money donors. But where are her people? That would have been the perfect opportunity to show her strength.
Correct.
To show that I am in command and the people believe in me. And it didn't show that way at all. She looked very weak. For all the money she's supposed to have and all the big powers behind her, they did not make a good showing at all.
Yeah, because I looked at the those that are her department heads. Some folks were sitting in. There was a majority of the folks that were sitting on the stage and also sitting in the audience. You can take an auditorium, a regular school type auditorium. Usually is broken up into 3 sections. Now, the amount of people that was there, you could say section 1 to the right, section 2 in the middle, section 3 over to the left. You could take everyone from section 3, section 2, and put them all in section 1 and still have space. That's how sparse the audience was for that town hall meeting. And it's one that those within the activist community, if you can call it that, if they are activists or they're just acting up, and there seems to be some of that going on, that there was your opportunity to be able to do some things and say some things that you may have wanted to say and express some of the issues that we feel that we need to address here in Baltimore City. I listened to, correct, let me go back, that staff that she had, department heads, majority on the stage was white and those that were black were sitting in as basically assistants. So basically her staff, department heads in the city administration are primarily of European descent and don't live in the city.
That was very conspicuous.
Yes, it was.
And let me just say, it was very conspicuous that the commissioner of the police was
Wasn't
not
present.
there.
Correct.
The deputy commissioner was there. That right after that, I wanted to hear him go and talk about how he's going to punch
That's what I want to know.
Punch him in the
Yes,
mouth.
sir.
Everybody wanted to see
Serious.
that, and then he's going to punch everybody in the mouth, and then he's a no-show. That was his chance.
Yeah, punch somebody in the face.
And so that was very conspicuous. Maybe he was very busy, and he couldn't make it. I understand commissioners are very busy, but
Yes, sir.
It did seem strange that Mr. Bielfeld didn't attend. It just looked raggedy, the whole thing. It just like a thrown together operation.
Yes, sir.
Whoever's her planners are, they need to, do a little better job.
But we're not going to give them too much help.
Well,
Yeah, yes, sir. But maybe the commission was out there chasing bad guys with guns, and maybe hopefully from the statement that he made that these buck wild police officers that are out here on the street, I'm talking about the buck wild ones, maybe they not out now punching people in the face, punching them guys in the face.
Well, one got a sex crime up in Harford County, supposedly abusing some teenage girl. I'm going to say, he's been accused of that
Yes,
by
sir.
Harford County Sheriff's Department and State's Attorney, and there was an article yesterday just detailing the long list just within the last year
of
police officers in the Baltimore area just getting arrested for crimes of all types. They didn't even really get into the violent crimes, just the thefts, the fighting, and just, the
insurance fraud, all the kind of stuff with the damage to their vehicles and filing false claims. And a lot of older folks won't let them officers in their houses because they have cases of Baltimore City police officers going in people's houses and stealing from them.
Baltimore's getting a national reputation for this now. It's starting to creep more and more into the national media. Another Baltimore cop arrested. That's what it's starting to look like now.
Yes, sir. Besides tasing the hell out of people, shooting people, talking about bad guys with guns
and badges.
Now you want to punch people in the face.
Yeah, that didn't.
First we were. They called us punks, and he called us punks and thugs. Then we were rats that they needed to build new cages for. Then we were vomit. Now we need to be punched in the face. Isn't this something? This is the attitude. This is the mentality. This is your police commissioner always saying something stupid.
They call that an anger issue.
It is.
That's
right.
When we say something like that, they call us angry.
That's right.
You have anger issues.
That's right.
You need some anger counseling.
And he has a serious attitude problem when it comes to people that look like you and me. People darker than blue, people of a darker hue. It seems that he expresses himself in such violent manners or in a violent manner. This is your police commissioner, the GED. Police commissioner. I can't talk about him too bad because I know I don't have no more than a 9th grade education.
Let me say that I have no problem with the commissioner having a GED.
Yes, sir.
Actually, it's kind of funny to me because I look at the Baltimore Police Department and it's, people I know, they got bachelor's degrees, they got master's degrees, and here we have the guy with the GED is your boss.
That's right.
I tease a few of them about that. I said, all that education, you still paying them student loans. And no, I think actually, Fred Bielefeld he's the smart one. He doesn't have, he's not carrying all that debt, and he rose to the top. I'm not going to knock anybody for, I hear a lot of people beating him up for a GED. I'm just going to, if I'm going to get on him, I'm going to get on him for what he does.
That's right.
I don't really recognize, I don't care about them pieces of paper people hang on the wall because, this education system is kind of like a fraud anyway. And and me and Fred Bielefeld can agree on that. He didn't need it. He's proved he didn't need it.
Yes, sir.
He's at the top.
That's right.
So, more power to him. Just, if he could just stop, killing people, that would be a nice thing. I could learn to laugh at him, But other than that, I have nothing against this commissioner.
There's something that our people have to go through, what they go through on a daily basis, getting stripped butt naked on these streets, the indignities that they have to go through. It needs to stop. Our youth are being just targeted. Our youth are under attack. And the thing is that it speaks more not of them, but it speaks more to us that
Thank you.
We are not. White folks have more love for their dogs and protect their dogs more than we protect our children, and do more than what we do for our children. If it was at the mayor's town hall meeting, if the issue was that you would have to have the dogs or the animals wear muzzles instead of not just being on the leash, that auditorium would have been packed to the max, and they would be scouring to do whatever they can to create a dog park somewhere in Baltimore City to accommodate these dog lovers. But we have to do what we have to stop talking about that we care about our children, but we talk about it, but we are not really doing what, exemplifying that, showing that, demonstrating that we really do care for our children. And one of the things that they were talking about when it was coming down, talking about housing, I think it was someone from maybe from the Baltimore Development Corporation or someone from housing, or dealing with the Environmental Control Board. One of the residents was talking about the banding and boarded up housing within the city. And the response to that was citations, 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 fines, citations. So if you don't pay those citations, you know where that house is going at. To the tax sale. And we asked the mayor to cancel that tax sale due to the fact of the history of the corruption surrounding the tax sale, annual city tax sale. That's how they are taking people's property through these liens and through these fines and through these citations. People are losing their houses, and the bloodsuckers are buying these houses. And at one point, once they purchased the houses, they also attached ground rents to them. I'm going to, in the future, going to do a program just exclusively on that issue of ground rents, tax sales, and some of the other methods and means that they are using to take people property away from them in the city. The streets are bad. They say they need to be repaired. So they want to increase taxes or whatever they call them, fees.
A gas tax, too.
To repair the streets. But shouldn't be that problem. Because the money to repair your streets is going down there to build a damn NASCAR racetrack. Zoom, Jack Young. Zoom, Jack Young.
On these foreclosures and these tax sales, this has gone off on a level that is so massive and so systematic, like clockwork, that it had to be something that was planned. You know, some group got together and say, you know what, we can take these Negroes' homes from them. You know, we can set this up. We can create fines and fees, and if they get behind, we can jack it up with the tax sale and jack up the legal fees and the legal costs, and we know they can't pay it, and we can just take their homes. This was plotted in advance, even before it started. These things don't happen
in a vacuum.
Yeah, spontaneously. People sit down. This is what we got to understand. People sit down and plan these things, and then they work themselves into a position where they can execute these plans. See, they already got their next plan. They done stole, you know, probably from collectively they probably stolen $1 billion or so from the citizens of Baltimore. There's no telling, because you know we don't know how to count the money for ourselves. We keep asking them for an account. We're never going to get an honest count from them.
You're right. And usually,
and all government agencies keep 2 sets of books.
That's right.
That's just, you know, that's pretty much standard knowledge.
Yeah, and the thing is that what we looking at in this city, because you know I was listening to Jill Carter when she was won that whole vote behind the same-sex marriage thing, and she brought up the $15 million for school. That's a small pittance, but folks are doing some gambling in this state. The casinos are up, and some of them are running. So what happened to your school money? What happened to your education money that they promised you? Because in this whole discussion of legalized slots and legalized gambling, you hear no discussion of education. You hear no discussion of children. I told you before, they don't give a damn about your children. When are you going to give a damn about your children? Stop begging them to open up recreation centers and pull a damn dollar out of your pocket and put it with someone else and buy one of these buildings that house these recreation centers. We need to do that, since they want to lease them out. And that's us decide to buy the building, because if we wanted to meet and discuss some issues, some problems, or what we want to do in the future, you know what, folks? We don't have a place to go. We don't have a place that we can do those things, discuss our issues, our future of our people here in Baltimore City, without having a time limit or time restriction that we have to be out of that building. We have to have some ownership in this city. So that means that we will have to be those that are purchasing the houses within the neighborhoods and using the monies that are available to do so. And the money that we be using is the money that we giving to them. Quid pro quo. If I do something for you, you're supposed to do something for me. And we are electing these folks to office, and they're not giving us anything. They are detached too. Maybe we need to call Jane Miller, because it seems that these political rabbits, seems to be running from back and forth across the county line to the city when it comes down to their residence, or where they live, or where they say that they live. We have to take a look at the Blount decision very closely, and I brought it up several times, and it seems to be a issue that folks wish to avoid. As I said before, the attorney in the Blount case was George Russell. The defendant was Clarence Blount, and the judge was Robert Bell, all members of Sigma Pi Phi, the members of the Boule. So sometimes you do look after your own. And we have to look at the wider ramifications of this particular court decision that was rendered. Is it widespread, or is it just for this particular case? Brother A, you have anything to add, or anything that you wish to say, my brother?
Yeah, on that buying the rec center.
Yes, sir.
I do recall that Mayor O'Malley then sold the elementary school at Guilford Avenue and Mount Royal.
Yes, sir.
To a Catholic educational nonprofit foundation for $1.
Yes, sir.
For $1. You know, now I'm not against that.
I'll give him $2.
No, I'm not against that.
Go ahead,
and I'm not going to be mad for the deal. I'm just saying, instead of being mad at it, you know, when I get with, you know, my people and say, well, we can do that too.
That's right.
They more into being angry about other people doing it, instead of saying, well, no, let us do something.
That's
like
right.
that. And we focus a little too much on our anger and we need to focus on what do we, you know, that's the real question. See, I don't think black people truly love their children, because we don't love ourselves. You know, if you ain't got love for yourself, you really ain't got much love for anything else around you.
That's right.
And I think a lot of us pay lip service to it, but when it comes into putting in some time and some energy and some resource, you know, it's easier to be angry about or what somebody else got than to, you know, assert yourself to get what you want. You know, because you got to get out of bed to do that. You can sit at home and be angry at other people. That's all day long. But to get up and go do it for yourself, that takes drive, that takes energy, and we ain't showing it.
Yes, sir.
So I think we just need to put our energy into doing it instead of being mad because of other people doing it. Because I see, you know, it was a good thing. You know, most of the kids that go to the school that they built are black children. So, I mean, you know, we need to build our own schools and build our own racks, and, you know, and stop making excuses.
So you saying that we need to do something for ourselves instead of just continuing with the rhetoric of hooping, hollering, and shouting and thinking that yelling at somebody's going to get something done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Besides make you feel or maybe a little bit better, you know, because you got your thing off.
Exactly.
But our children are looking at us, they're watching us, they are observing us. And if we're going to teach them something, we have to demonstrate that which we believe and that which we say. It's saying it, but it's another thing when you do it. So we got lots of work to do.
And you know, we did it, Donald.
Yes, sir.
We had a little group of children.
Yes, sir.
And we pushed them forward, and they came to us, and we got We bought lacrosse equipment. We bought football equipment.
Yes, sir.
We came to football games. We supported coaches. Coaches was coming to see us.
That's right.
You know, whatever they needed, you needed a crowd, we got them a crowd.
That's right.
You know, we had their backs. You
That's
know,
right.
and we got them. We did that back in the '90s. We were very supportive. So, and we were successful too.
That's right. Because I remember back then we were what they call the Forest Park Senior Center. Now it was Howard Park Recreation Center.
Yeah, they
took that from the
kids.
Children in the neighborhood and the community.
Yeah,
and we watched them young brothers go out there up on Liberty Heights and Win Oak and go to that corner and start slinging.
That destroyed that neighborhood.
It destroyed the neighborhood, and it was a lot of the youth within the neighborhood. And
I got caught up in that wrecked that neighborhood when they closed that rec center. And they did it all of a sudden. There was no announcement. They just closed it one. That was under William Donald Schaefer.
And I'm trying to remember the councilwoman at that time, because I had numerous conversations with her, because what we have to stop these politicians from doing is playing off our youth against our elders. And seeing that the elders are what they, in political terms, they call them thumpers. Those are 45 and over. Those are ones who are basically guaranteed to get out there and to vote. So children don't vote. So their concerns or needs weren't as greater in the sense of, in the mind of a politician than it was with the elders. So it comes back again. It comes down to us doing what we can and what we need to do right there where we are in the neighborhoods and the communities where we are. We have to have a presence, and we have to show our children and demonstrate to them that we do in fact care, because right now we act as though we don't really care, that we don't really love them, because maybe we don't love ourselves. Maybe we don't have confidence in ourselves as a people that we can turn this thing around and make things a lot better for ourselves. What do you think about that, brother?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. But yeah, you know, when you brought that up about that senior center, see, you bringing back some real memories for me. That hurt. That I was when they closed Howard Park Recreation Center, that really stuck me, because I grew up in that recreation center. That was something I could take for granted. It was always there. And I bet you if you mark the crime rate in that Gwynn Oak neighborhood, I bet you can see there's a total difference between before they closed that recreation center and after they closed that recreation center. It changed the whole color of that neighborhood. It really did. And I don't, maybe the adults in the neighborhood, they just didn't seem they didn't really seem to care. It just didn't, everybody was just interested in their house and their grass, and it was like nothing else on earth mattered. And then they looked up, 3 or 4 years after the rec closed, and they're like, well, where did all this crime come from?
That's right.
What happened to this neighborhood?
That's right.
And I'm, what do you mean what happened to it? They destroyed something that was a major pulse. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just youth that went to that rec center. That rec center had a softball league. You had the adults out there playing softball. That rec center had men. That rec center, it had modern dance for the girls. They had little women things. That a lot went through that recreation center. And
when that rec closed, we had to create another rec.
Yeah,
and the rec was the shoe shop.
A makeshift
shop, and we called it the Temple. We called it the Temple because there was a young brothers that we knew, these children that we watched grow up, and we watched them as they moved from up into the corner. But we made it clear that when you come into the shop, it was either you were going to be with us or you're going to be out there on the street. Isn't that right, brother?
Hey, Donald. That shoe shop took this boy and made him a man.
Yes, sir.
I thought I was a man till I went in that shoe shop, and Bubba Ott grabbed me.
Yes, sir.
And said, I'm gonna show you what manhood is really about. And what was so interesting about the shoe shop is the thugs would be battling and shooting at each other on the street.
That's right.
And I mean, I couldn't believe it. They would, they come in that shoe shop and everybody would. That was truce. That was like the neutral ground.
That's right.
On the wire, they had the Sunday morning truce. no matter what was going on, I remember they was chasing the kid, trying to shoot him. And
coming out the apartment next door.
And he ran in the shoe shop, and they stopped. The dude with the gun, it's okay. We get you. They took off.
That's right.
It was like there was an invisible line right
that's
there.
Right. They wasn't coming in.
They just stopped right. Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
I was like, wow, there was a power behind that.
That's right. And so we have to give thanks and remembrance to.
You gotta do a show on that,
brother Michael Richardson, who was the proprietor of the shoe shop. That was the 4600 block of
47
Liberty Heights Avenue.
A&W Shoes.
That's right. And everyone came to there who was, if you were sitting high, if you was
sitting
low,
in there.
You came to the shoe shop. Dr. Elijah Saunders and all the other folks used to come through there and get their work done. It was a place where we taught young brothers and sisters chess, and some of these big ministers in this town now that used to sit in there with us and to play chess and strategize, and as we worked with the youth and as we sat in there and we debated each other on issues, and the babies used to be there. I used to be there with my youngest daughter Imani, and our children we always tried to keep around with us so that they could see and hear what was going on and what was happening. So it was powerful that what took place in that shop and the lives that were turned around and the ones that we lost back to the corner.
Yeah, Narcotics Anonymous was next door.
That's right.
And they felt so, they would leave their children in the shop
with us
while they went into
That's because they were safe. They knew that they were safe.
It was a great place for children.
That's right.
Really was.
That's right, because they knew that they were safe and
adults. It was a lot of men. Really, it was a men's club.
That's right.
At the center of it, and it just everybody felt good when they came in there.
That's right, and you knew that certain nonsense wasn't going to take place. And the thing was that we'll be in there sometime. I know I used to sleep in there sometime because we'd be in there to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to the next day.
Especially when they had those chess parties.
We have the chess parties, and we'd be in there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning playing ping pong. We called it honky ball. So this is what we used to do, and it was more of a school, a small neighborhood little school, where we took the young folks to school, and we took each other to task that if there was a heated discussion or a disagreement, you wasn't walking out that door carrying that with you. It gets resolved before you leave out. And if you wanted to carry it, then it was yours, but don't bring it back in. So it was a place that we did a lot of things and strategized about a lot of things and tried to work on a lot of things with a little, and most of the times we worked with nothing at all. We were trying to beg the folks to give us access to the recreation center 1 day a week. All we wanted at one point was 1 day a week, and our children just was not welcomed. And we can go through neighborhood, and you can find those kinds of situations that have taken place. Your centers and things like that have been closed, and you watch these children go out into the streets. Because we had Brother Sonny up there at Howell Park Recreation Center.
Yeah, Sonny coached me.
Nothing crazy went on because it all went to Sonny, and any issues or matters were resolved within the center itself. So those centers, those kind of places, play a very important role within a given neighborhood or community. One time we used to have community schools. The schools used to be open in the evenings for the aerobics and swimming and all those kind of things where people within the community would come together and they would do and participate in the activities, but basically they would talk, primarily the women. So those are kind of things that we need to bring, once again, the kind of community activities that brings people together. The only time we talk now is when the lights go out within your neighborhood, within your block, within your area. That's when we seem to have concern to check with a neighbor to see if they have any candles, to see if any elder on the block may need some kind of medical services. That's when we talk, when the lights go out. Maybe the lights need to go out in Baltimore for a week, that we won't have any distractions. You won't be able to watch all them cable stations. You won't watch Little Kim, Housewives of Atlanta, and all those other distractions that keep us away from each other and talking to each other. Anything else, Brother A?
Yeah, I don't watch TV, so
we don't have time. We out there grinding,
man,
working hard.
I don't have cable. I don't even have an antenna, so I haven't seen the TV news in years. So unless I'm over someone's house and they got the TV on, that's the only way I watch it.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
That stuff is bad for you. It actually is bad for your health. You know, it's bad for your mental health because they're sending so many hidden messages. So much, and most of that stuff is designed to control you and to demoralize you, and it's the same story every night. You know, black people messing up. Black people getting shot. Black people are savages, you know, and we give power to it by watching it.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I see people getting dejected. Man, they'll never tell our stories. They're always smearing us, and I'm like, well, first, stop watching it because you know you don't realize what it's doing to you.
That's right.
And then, you know, I hear they never tell our story, and I said, okay, stop right there. It's not their job to tell our story.
That's right.
It's our job to tell our story. You know, that's the whole point. You know, they're gonna tell the story to their benefit, not to ours. So, you know, I've taken care of that problem. You know, I ain't seen any of the local news channels. Any of these local news, I have not seen them in at least 7 to 10 years. I haven't watched it. I don't need it. I don't need to hear their point of view. They have one mission: to show black people in a negative light. You know, I mean, I can sit there with it, and because I got the trained eye for it, I mean, I really do. I see so much more of it than the average person, and it depresses me. And I don't need to be depressed. I need to be energetic, and people get mad at me because I stay happy. You know, in the worst situations. And I said, well, I don't watch TV. You know, TV makes people so angry. You know, and I don't bother with it. I can get the news. I can get the information. They ain't the only source, and because I don't watch it, I've been able to develop other strong sources.
Yes, sir.
And
you think the commissioner watch too much TV that he just want to punch people in the face?
I don't even.
I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think about I raised the issue at the mayor's town hall meeting because she was talking about that she was lobbying the Maryland State Legislature to tighten the gun laws of convicted felons and other folks carrying loaded weapons. And as I was stating that, who was sitting to my right? Pistol Pete Welch. The city council selected this brother to take the seat of, I believe, his mother on that council. A convicted felon. I believe he was charged with discharging a weapon in the public with an end of dispute with a campaign worker over $40. And the thing is that if you are trying to lead by example of getting bad guys with guns off of the streets, how can it be that the council selected a convicted felon, a gun toter, Pistol Pete, to be on the council? And when the issue came up, you talked about that was in the past. There is a such thing as forgiveness. There's a thing as redemption. What about the redemption for black men that can't get jobs in this city because they have felony charges? What about their lives? How can they reconstruct and rebuild their lives? What are the opportunities for them to do so? Where's the forgiveness for them? Is there any for them? That we find ourselves in these situations under the O'Malley administration, under the Dixon administration, and under the Stephanie Rawlins Blake administration. We have young men and young women and older men and older women that cannot get employment for themselves, cannot sustain themselves and sustain their families because they cannot get employment. Can you run as a candidate for city council and have a gun felony charge? Because I believe that the city council, through their selection process, have set precedent. I'm going to.
I don't think he has a felony, Donald.
He does. You don't think he has a felony?
I know he had a gun charge, but I don't think it was a felony.
A gun?
Somehow
charge?
they fixed it. You know, it gets fixed.
Can we get fixed? Can some of these brothers and sisters got felony charges on them, or charges period? Can they get fixed?
We can get fixed, but they are not going to fix us. They're not going to fix anything for us. That's, you know. And we're going to the. I could have told you what the mayor was going to say before she said it. You know, the police are great. The police are great. Anything for the police. We're hiring 350 more police officers, which they got to do every year anyway, because the smart ones get out of Baltimore police. They lose about 300 to 400 officers every year, you know, not to mention by arrest, but, you know, most of them get better jobs because it's not like the best police job in the state. So, you know, and every year they say they're going to hire 400 new officers as if they're swelling the ranks, but that's just replenishment. That's what they have to do just to keep their numbers where they are. So, you know, I don't pay attention to that. That's what they, you know, it's the same. That's the song they all sing. I've been hearing that for 20 years. But as far as Pete, we can fix that.
Yes, sir.
But that's going to come from us. You know,
sir.
I say we give them too much power. And I just say we can, if we make it our business to change that, it'll get changed. But we keep asking them.
That's right.
Could you help us, please? No, I'm not asking them for anything. I don't need anything they have.
But for the hat in the hand, so
because I got stuff in my past. So,
yes, sir.
You know, but you know, I don't need anything from this mayor. She matter of fact, she's powerless. She can't help me.
That's right.
If she wanted to help me, which I don't believe she does, she has no power to help me. And I just felt bad seeing them people going up and asking her and pleading with her. She's nobody. She really doesn't have the power to help us.
So you saying she's just a figurehead that ain't figuring too well?
Something like that.
Yes, sir. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to take some phone calls. The phone number is 410-761-1592. You're listening to Stolen Property. You sitting on, standing on, laying on, playing on stolen property. This land was stolen from the red man and red woman. After they decimated them, then they brought us here to till the soil, to carry the water, to do all the things that they didn't want to do. As hard as we have worked the hundreds of years that we've been in this country, they have the nerve, they have the audacity to call us lazy. You got to be crazy when you the damn lazy one. Why should we have to work? We worked for hundreds of years in this country for free, no pay, all day, and we still here in 2011 find ourselves no different than we were several hundred years ago. It just changed. The form just changed. We are here sharecropping on the American plantation. So the phone number is 410-761-1592 on your AM dial. Looking for someone to call in. So this can be an engagement. So this can be a two-way or three-way conversation. Because right now we have to talk to each other to be able to work some things out. So we have about maybe 7 minutes left. So we're giving you the opportunity to get in now while you can. Good morning, you on the air. Good morning, you on the air.
Now, that's a morning, spirit man.
Voodoo lady, Mama Risha.
And to sound
Hey,
like
hey,
a
Mama.
young fella. I don't know how old he is, so I'll call him Mwana A.
Mama
Amen.
Risha.
Yes.
If you can make the announcement on when your program is coming on, that way we can be able to run through this real quick, okay?
Okay, then. Well, I appreciate it. I didn't find my flyer, so I have to remember this in my mind. But it should be Tuesday, which is Jumani, April the 4th or 5th, I think it is, at 1 p.m. on channel, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
1 p.m. on Wait a minute, I'm trying to find the calendar because I don't have the flyer in front of me. Oh, I am right. It is April the 5th
Yes, ma'am.
At 1 p.m. on Soul Classics. And I hope your listening audience tunes into me, Africa Arrived Community. And I wanted to say, don't mess with my Atlanta housewives now.
Oh, man, yes, ma'am. Them sisters need some jobs. I'm serious.
As a senior citizen retiree, I look at them and the basketball wives. So it's something to do to relax because I work hard in trying to uplift our people. And I was glad too that you brought out the man. I think you said his name was Michael Richardson.
Yes, ma'am.
Who owned the shoe shop up there? What was it? Liberty Road.
Liberty Heights. We called him Brother Ajimu.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that out because when I drive past there, I often think about it because I used to patronize his shoe shop, and I believe I was at his funeral. So I appreciate that you brought, you kept his name and his presence alive.
Yes, ma'am. And Mama Risha?
Yes. So I'm gonna jump off now, but I ask your listeners to stay tuned. 1 p.m. April the 5th, Jumani, which means Tuesday, for Africa Arrived Community, and keep up the good work that both of you are striving to improve our community.
Thank you, Mama Risha.
Thank you.
So that is April the 5th. April the 5th at 1 p.m. Africa Rising with Voodoo Lady Mama Risha. You lock that into your Rolex, or not, you don't know, you ain't carrying no folks ain't wearing no Rolexes, but you can put that into your calendar and you can get that going. Good morning, you on the air.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
All right.
That's good. Hey, man, I'm sorry I just caught the last part of you in my car, so I said let me call in. This is Bill Gooden. And let me just say, man, I mean, I was hearing the brother in terms of when he was saying that, people can't create change for you. We have to create that change ourselves. And, I mean, he's absolutely right. I mean, I think the biggest thing, man, we have to keep on trying to change the consciousness of the people. Because once people think different, people going to do different. But, people have to realize that they can't create change, and they just need to know what to do. And so, I just think that we have to constantly just keep telling people what we need to do in order to create that change, because politicians is not meant to create the change for the people, but the people do have the will to create the change for themselves.
Yes, sir. So,
I just wanted to, applaud what the brother was saying, let him know, man, that, hey, I stand with them 100% on that position, because that's the way it truly is. And, people can't create change, they want change.
yes, sir. So, we're going to get up out of here and close this program out. So I thank you very much, Brother Bill.
All right, my brother.
All right, peace. Brother A, we're going to close this program out this Saturday morning, March the 26th, 2011, that maybe we have said something that folks can be able to take into their considerations this morning, that we can do something ourselves. Stop waiting for others to do something for yourself. We call it Bogart. That means take charge. Just like I snuck into that line the other night. That's what you do. You take charge. You don't wait or expect for folks to grant you permission to do what you have to do. You got to Bogart. You got to take charge. And we have to take charge of our lives so we can make things better for ourselves and better for our families. Brother A, any closing remarks?
Hey, change yourself and you change the world. That's your power right there. You got more power to control what you do and what you say than anybody else. That is real power right there.
Yes, sir.
And I just re-emphasize, if you change yourself, you change the world. That's what I got to say.
And I just want to say that anyone who wished to make a contribution to this program, Stolen Property, with your host, Brother Donald the Spirit Man, we will, I'll take $5 and try to get you committed. I had 10, try to get people to commit to $10, but the $10 ain't working all that well because I understand how tight it is. And I thank those who have committed themselves to doing that and those who have put some dollars and some cents in my hand in my pocket to keep this program going. So if you wish to commit yourselves to $10 a week or $5 a week, look in the phone book and for the address to this radio station and address it to Stolen Property here on WFBR 1590 on your AM dial every Saturday morning from 11 to 12 noon on that raggedy radio that you have at home that you have to turn to the right, turn to the left so that you can get reception. My time is up. Brother Dern is coming on with the state of the city. I hope that he can share his observations, what took place the other night at the mayor's, whatever you want to call it. But the sister's cooked. She's fried, dyed, and she's laid to the side. So, Stephanie, next election, see ya. Goodbye. The program is Stolen Property, and I say to you, peace.